It used to be that if you wanted your own launch monitor or simulator, you'd have to break open the bank to the tune of $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 or more. Well, thankfully, technology has come a long way, and now you can enter the launch monitor game for a whole lot less. So today, we're unboxing and examining the latest from Flightscope in the form of the Mevo and the Mevo Plus. Stick around. Hi friends, I'm Bill Hobson. It's great to have you along with us as we enter into an unboxing and review of the latest from Flightscope, where they offer the Mevo and the Mevo Plus launch monitors and golf simulators. Now, why the two products? Well, because they are at two very different price points. We start with the Mevo here that clocks in at about $399, and then we move up to the Mevo Plus, which if you just buy the unit in the box, it's about $1,800, and you can buy some add-on packages that might bring it up into that $2,600, $2,700 range, but become more of a full-scale golf simulator. So what I want to do in the moments ahead is first unbox both of these launch monitors and show you what you get when you buy them. And then we'll take them into a studio, into a simulator setting where you can see them in action. Ready? Let's start with the little Mevo here. Now, when you start to look inside each of these boxes, one of the things I think you'll be very impressed by right off the bat is the simplicity. You don't have a lot of assembly required in dealing with the Mevo or the Mevo Plus. So inside the box, we have, of course, the ubiquitous charging cord. These seem to be everywhere. A very simple startup guide to get you started, get things rolling. They give you a little packet of reflector dots. These reflector dots are intended to go on a golf ball and then would be facing away from the monitor to help track spin rate. More on that later. And then there's a little handy-dandy carrying pouch included with the Mevo. But the unit itself is really quite tiny. My hands are not those of an Andre the Giant or Shaq. So this is truly fits in the palm of your hand size. Comes with a little kickstand on the back side so that when it's time for you to put it to use, you'll set it about 6 feet behind the ball and make sure that you are on a straight line coming out of the radar or the flight scope, and that's where it will begin tracking. In a couple of minutes, we will actually power it on and show you how it connects to your phone or your iPad so that you can get a feel for what the interface looks like as you begin hitting balls and seeing the data report back to you. We'll do that in a moment. First, let's move over to the Flightscope Mevo Plus. Now, when we come over to the bigger box, the Flightscope Mevo Plus, we've got a pretty impressive package in here because inside the box is a fully self-contained carrying kit, protective kit, which is important because you are making a sizable investment in this, and it's intended to go with you to the range or to different trips that you're making, because not only is the Mevo Plus capable of monitoring and registering and tracking all the data, but it's also kind of a fun practice tool. It's got a number of different applications inside of it, and we'll get into those in the moments ahead. First of all, what's in the box? Well, first and foremost, the Mevo Plus. This would be it. Comes with its own kickstand, and you'll want to pay careful attention to this feature because once we get into the mobile app setup, you'll see that there's precision required for the angle at which you have this set up. The app actually tells you you're off by a degree or so, and you will, with fine adjustment skills, you will move this to be within the compliance mode that the app indicates. Everything else in the box I think is pretty standard. You've got your charger, you've got your setup kit, you've got more of the reflective tabs like we saw with the Mevo, and then a little bit more guidance because, as I said, the Mevo Plus is a bit more robust of a simulator. It's going to walk you through not only your own game, through the entire bag that you have, including your putter, but it will also lend itself to subscriptions to full course simulator play, other target-related game improvement exercises and that kind of thing. So what I want to do after you have now seen what's inside both boxes, let me grab the iPad and we'll show you what the interface looks like, and we will actually connect both of these devices separately so you can see how quickly that happens and how simple really the whole process is. First, we'll set up the Flightscope Mevo, They both use the same app. It is the FS Golf app. And once inside of it, you will actually begin to tell this app which device you want to work with. So we've opened the app. We're going to turn on the Flightscope Mevo power button right down here on the side. Very simple. And you'll see the blue lights kick on. And you'll see the green light start to flash. That green light flashing is an indicator that it is now searching for something to connect to. We're going to come up into settings, and we're going to go to radar settings and radar type. And this is where we get to choose between the Mevo Plus, and another device that they offer that I don't currently have. The application is already applied to this one, so there you go. And now the key thing to do is to keep your eyes in the upper right corner of the mobile app, because up here you will see the status. Right now it says connected. In a moment, now it is connected. In a moment when I start a session, you'll hear it say ready, and you'll see the green light change to orange when it's ready to start registering. I'm going to go full swing session, and it says right here that it gives me my choice. I'm outdoor, I'm indoor, or I'm just having some short game practice. Well, right now we are indoors, so I'll hit indoors. That makes sense. Equipment. Down here is where you'll choose the club that you're going to use. Throughout the entire bag, I've chosen pitching wedge just for kicks because we're inside. And now that I'm set, I'm going to hit Start New Session. When I do that, that light turns orange and you hear it say Ready. Now, if we were in a situation where I had a club in my hands and the Mevo was on the ground, we would now be ready to hit the ball and see the data come through. In the app, with the Mevo, there are several options. I can go with the dashboard, which is what you see there. I can go with a table, which is actually going to lay out all of my results. We don't have any of those right now. We can go to video mode, where I would set up this iPad in such a way that it would be recording my swings. And we can also go to a view. I know we're ready. See, she's getting impatient with me. We can also go to a view where we can see the ball launch. Now, the Flightscope Mevo measures carry, club speed, ball speed, launch, spin, smash factor, height, and flight time. So there's a little bit more in there. The Flightscope Mevo Plus actually brings with it even more measurement, and we'll look at that here in the moments ahead. My point in this little exercise was to show you how quick and easy it is to set up and connect to the device. So that's the Mevo. Let's do the same thing for the Flightscope Mevo Plus. Much like we did with the Mevo, we opened the app again, this time with the Mevo Plus in mind. Same app, the FS Golf app. And as it opens up, we're going to power on the Mevo Plus on the top of the unit with this button. You're going to hold it down. You're going to listen for a bit. There's going to be 5 very soft beeps. There's 2. When it gets to the 5th one, there's 3. It's ready to connect. There's 4. Here comes number 5. And now it should give you 1 more and be ready to go. Okay, so with that one, we're going to come back into the app settings, radar settings, and now this time we're going to choose in our radar types the Mevo Plus. When we do that, we come down here to the bottom and we click Apply and Restart. You can see it works its way into now a connection with this unit. Now that it's there, much like we saw a moment ago, as soon as I hit one of these choices, you're going to hear the unit pronounce itself as being ready. But notice something. There are different choices than you saw with the Mevo. Of course, we have the full swing session. But now we have putting sessions because this unit is able to measure putting to a very fine degree. We also have a swing training session, some chipping sessions, and there are so many more different options that are available throughout all of this that it's definitely a conversation worth having, the difference in price. Remember, $399 for the little fella, roughly about $1,800 for this one, and depending on the Pro package, if you decide to add that, that'll be a little bit more. But let's just show you what I'm talking about. First, we'll go in, full swing session. Same club is already chosen. We have a pitching wedge. We are indoors. If I needed to adjust the tilt of this unit, it would tell me that, and right now it's fine. And we are going to start new session. we should hear it pronounce itself as being ready. Right now it says no device, so let's make sure we're connecting correctly. I missed a very important point. With the Mevo Plus, you actually tell the unit that you're ready and tell the unit to connect to your device by scanning a QR code on the back of it. I forgot all about that. It's completely on me. So now I'm going to bring it around to the back. We're going to scan the code. And now, just like that, it says, I'm ready to go. Now it's connected.
Ready.
And now we hear the magic word. That's my bad. You know, I'm still kind of getting used to this whole process, but it is a really intuitive process. And again, we have more units that are being, more aspects of your game that are being measured. In fact, let me bring up a bigger grid to show you the differences between the two devices. So now we're looking at carry, club head speed, ball speed, launch, spin, smash, height, flight time, angle of attack, spin, loft, launch angle, spin axis. It's kind of like taking the little device, injecting it with technical steroids, and out comes a device that truly is ready to take you to a professional level.
Ready.
I know you're ready. You've told me that several times. It's waiting for me impatiently. It's got some very detailed chart analysis, and an important point to make is that everything that happens in here is also being recorded to the online account that you've created so that you can take the data either from your device or you can go log in online and see how it all comes out. Okay, I've spent enough time talking to you about how it all works. Now, let's show you with live swings a demonstration for both the Mevo and the Mevo Plus what they can do to track your game and help you have more fun while you're practicing and getting ready to play even better. Okay, that is a real quick look at the unboxing, the connecting process, and a broad overview of what the interface looks like when you're connected to the app. So you have a logical question you should be able to ask now, and that is, yeah, okay, great. Does it all work though? Does it actually accurately track what I am doing with my swing when I hit the ball? Very good question. So now let's go find out by putting the Mevo and the Mevo Plus through their paces in the studio. So the studio that we are stepping into is at the Midland Golf Center. And Austin Dieters, it's good to see you. You and I have done a couple things together for our social media audience, but never have we tested technology to this degree.
Yeah.
You're a Flightscope facility.
Yes, we are.
So talk to us about what makes Flightscope a good choice for a professional setting, and then we'll talk about it from a consumer standpoint.
Absolutely. So we have a Flightscope X3 here. I believe it optimizes any capabilities we do for fitting here. So if you want club path data, launch angles, spin rates, all those things that really dial in your game, I think Flightscope definitely offers that.
And you have the big dog, the big professional version, so we're standing in one of your simulator booths, but I brought with me the Mevo Plus and the Mevo. How useful do you think the Mevo Plus is to a consumer, maybe in their own home, their garage, their basement?
Absolutely. I think, you know, as
I'm going to hit some balls while you're talking.
Sure. As this technology progresses, I think it's going to be great for people to use in their indoor facilities at home, garage, whatever it is.
135.6 yards.
Nice.
Don't let my prodigious length intimidate you. Go ahead. So, from a consumer standpoint, the idea is to be able to take this not only into a bay, but also outside if you wanted to.
Absolutely, yeah. It's got dual capabilities with the radar technology. I think it's a great unit for at home. As we all know, there's a lot of different options out there. And I think the value you get with the Mevo Plus makes it a perfect at-home unit.
Well, one of the things that we need to learn as golfers are how to analyze numbers.
Sure.
So the default is, I think, probably just to automatically look at the carry, the total. Some of the other numbers, though, are very important to improving our game. And I know that when you watch my numbers show up, you're probably cringing. So what are we looking at, and what kind of data is the Mevo Plus kicking out?
So the Mevo Plus at base, they give you basically the main metric points that you need: your club speed, ball speed, launch angle, spin rates, all sorts of stuff there. There is the other additional package that gives you face data. But this is really tells the story of what's happening with your ball.
And have you ever seen a more impressive display of 8-iron excellence than we
That's
just
pretty
saw?
darn good right there.
Step in here and hit a couple. I want
Yeah.
to ask you some more questions because when we're not in the presence of a professional who does teaching and analyzing of data, what are the most important numbers for consumers to pay attention to?
Carry is 168.0
I think the big one that
yards.
tells a story is our launch angles as well as our spin rates. And one of the more important metrics is that smash factor down there.
Okay, talk about smash factor.
Yeah, so smash
Help
factor, I
define
guess,
that for
as a
us.
number is ball speed divided by club speed. Basically,
Okay.
what it is a metric that tells you how well did you hit that shot, how efficient was that shot for you. So the higher that number you can get, the more efficient that transfer of energy is.
What's an ideal smash factor number?
I think if you can get to about a 130 to 135 with a 7-iron, I think you're getting a lot of efficiency out of that shot.
Okay.
So that one right there wasn't hit as well. But
What club's in your hand right now?
I've got a 7-iron.
You got a 7. Okay, that makes me feel better because I thought you were hitting your 8 30 yards past mine because I'm hitting an 8. Just wanted to make sure that I
I can
wanna-
go back and change.
You know, that's fine. You're fine.
Yeah, okay.
Just this actually makes me feel better. I'm gonna put you in at least 1 iron longer.
Carry is 172.
So I hit that one pretty good there. And you could see my smash factor went up significantly, almost 10 points.
Okay, so how much attention are you paying to spin with a 7 iron?
So especially when I'm playing in competition, I don't want my ball to be hitting on the green and bouncing over, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be able to stop where I want it to land. So that is a big metric as far as for consistency of your ball.
If you had a driver in your hands, what would you want that spin to look like?
I would like that to be in the 2000s.
Okay, so way different.
That it's completely different by club.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A good standard usually is about maybe 500 to 1,000 under each club. So what I mean by that is like a 7-iron, a good metric, right around that 6,000 number.
Yeah, let me step in and give the
Yeah.
folks what they've been asking for,
Of
which is
course.
yet another display of outstanding rhythm and length. I don't know, I'm trying. Move over this way a little bit. All right, so this is the 8-iron, just to make, I should actually tell everybody this is a wedge. That
Of
would be
course.
good, but it's not.
Numbers
So
might
I
not be
want
right,
you to
but-
look at the numbers on this and tell me where the room for improvement is.
Absolutely.
Carry is 147.6 yards. Ready.
Okay, so that's my 8-iron.
I'm assuming you hit that pretty solid?
Felt okay, I pulled
Yeah.
it a little bit, but it
Yeah.
was, so carries about 148. My normal is right around that range with my 8-iron. So what are you seeing
Yeah.
on the numbers?
So kind of as I said earlier, about a 500 to 1,000 under each club. So if you took an 8-iron and you said, let's say 8,000 spin, I think a good metric is about 1,000 under that, about 7,000.
Okay, so how do I fix that?
Well, you're at 69.44. I'd say that's pretty darn good.
So no room for improvement?
Oh, of
If
course,
I
there's, al-
can't
there's
see
always room
Austin
for
right now,
improvement.
he would say, I can't do anything with that. You're ready for the tour.
Let's see here. 23.6, that's a great launch angle.
Okay, so that was a good shot.
So I can tell you've been fitted for your club set.
Yeah, I have been. And it's okay, by the way, every once in a while to just hit a good shot.
Of course.
The key is to repeat those good shots.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to try to repeat the good shot, even though I pulled it left into the pond. By the way, we'll talk about the Mevo Plus here for a moment.
Carry is 139.0 yards.
I didn't get that one as well.
Ready.
On the professional model with the full subscription, you also have courses that you can play.
Yes, you
now,
can,
I don't
yeah.
have that in the trial version, right? That's a subscription level.
That is correct, yep.
Okay, so I just want to make sure everybody in the world of consumers thinking, well, wait, I want to play Sawgrass in my home. You can,
Right.
but you have to subscribe to all
That
of
is
that.
right. Yep. And there's various different ones that are capable with the Mevo Plus.
Okay.
We use E6 here for
Yeah.
our simulators, and that is also capable to be ran on the Flightscope Mevo.
Okay, now, one of the things that we really want to do here is keep it real. And you and I were talking off camera about some of the issues with Flightscope, and those are connection issues.
Correct.
And sometimes it's a little clunky in that regard, right?
Right. I would say that I use this unit right here for a lot of my lessons when we do them indoor, and there is maybe a 5 to 10 minute process where you're trying to connect and make sure that you got it in the right spot and going through that process, and there is some challenges in that. Absolutely.
You don't want the app crashing on you. But when you go to practice, what you really want is a quick setup. You want to get practicing.
Sure. You want
And
to
that's-
fire it up and be ready to go.
Okay, we're going to shut this one down and then hook up the little Mevo, the more consumer level version, so you can see how that one goes. Okay, next up is the more consumer level version, the Mevo, the little tiny fella that literally fits into your pocket. So what are we going to get out of this little unit?
So I think the Mevo is a great unit if you're just looking for numbers. It does not show dispersion, so it doesn't show your right or left, but it does show your apex, your spin rates, your club speeds.
Is that why
ball
I'm seeing a
speeds.
side view here?
That is correct, yep.
So,
Carry is 130.2 yards.
so with the Mevo, I can't tell if I'm hitting it offline or not.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep, it's
Right.
almost as if you're looking at it from a side view.
So let's talk about the 15 plus handicapper who's
Yeah.
looking to get into the world of the personal launch monitor and start to examine some data. What would be for you the key selling points of the Mevo from Flightscope, the little fella?
I think the best use for the Mevo is as an outdoor unit to really get a better understanding of what's happening. I think you get the best of both worlds.
142.1 yards.
So if you're on the range and you're practicing and you're hitting your driver and you feel like you're hitting it a lot shorter than per se you usually do, you could pop that down. You could look at your spin rate. You could be hitting it just as hard, but if
So
your
there-
spin rate's getting high, that causes issues.
So there is enough data coming out of it that it's useful.
Absolutely. I think paired in the right circumstances.
Okay. All right, so let's cover both sides of that story then.
Yeah.
What are the downsides to the little Mevo?
I do think as an indoor unit, it does not paint the full picture for yourself. As you're seeing here, I don't think there's enough data.
Oh, that was a whiff.
Carry is 126.
That was enough data. That was terrible.
I don't think there's quite enough data to really give you the full picture on why you may have missed hits or you're not getting the distance that you typically would.
So coming in to this one in the $400 to $500 range,
Yeah.
knowing that it's going to provide for you the basics,
Correct.
or your next step up is $1,800 to $2,000 with the
Correct.
Mevo Plus.
Yep. But if you're really looking to possibly work on some things, you get better, or even see what's going on as far as ball flight, I think the Mevo Plus is a better unit.
And would you recommend the Plus with a subscription package so you can play rounds, or are we dedicated enough as golfers to just go and practice without having the multi-club approach and playing a hole all
Sure.
the way through?
I think there needs to be a balance. As a golf professional, I definitely would say I like people to practice in the wintertime. I say it's the best time to work on the swing. We're not worried about trying to make pars and bogeys and get our lowest
Carry
score.
is 134.9 yards.
But I do think there is advantages to going out and playing and seeing, bunkers and targets and things to hit.
So Austin, just the last few years, the technology has really come a long way. And the price points have come a long way as well, right?
Absolutely.
So it's
12.5
possible
yards.
for a consumer to get into this game within a pretty realistic budget level.
For sure. I think there's a lot of units now out there. And I think around that 500 price point, there's a lot of units that are a swing and a miss. I do think if within the right circumstances, the Mevo is a great unit for that price. And I think if you're really looking to better your game this winter, the next step up to that Mevo Plus is a great option.
And beyond that, the next step is the
The Flightscope X3. Yep.
X3. That's the big boy.
That's for your hardcore
That's the
guys.
TrackMan world.
Yes.
Kind of a budget
absolutely.
level. But it's possible if you have a tall ceiling in the basement, if you have room for a setup kind of like
Yeah.
this, you might want to go the full bore with the projector, the screen, and the whole thing.
I mean, it's a great unit, and it offers a ton of capabilities, just as much as any of the big boys out there as far as TrackMan or whatnot.
Carry is 148.1 yards.
Pretty good.
All right, I think on that one we'll wrap things up. Thank you
Yeah.
for the professional insight
Of course,
into
appreciate
what
it, Bill.
Flightscope has to offer. So you've got the little Mevo, you've got the Flightscope Mevo Plus, and those are your two basic consumer entry point flight launch monitors. Happy practicing. And I hope you can match these numbers. I know they're pretty impressive.